Congressman Randy Weber of Texas. The House is on the floor, actually now taking votes, so he steps off to join us. He's a member of the House Committee on Space, Science, Technology, and the Transportation Infrastructure Committee. He represents the 14th District of the Lone Star State. Congressman Weber, thanks for jumping off the floor to join us here on Washington Watch.
Thank you, Tony. Glad to be here. We have jumped over on the E&C committee instead of the T&I committee.
Oh, well, great. That's good to know.
Yep.
Let me first, before I go to the meeting between the Speaker and the President, I want to thank you for joining us this morning there at the Museum of the Bible. I just appreciate you being there and praying for the country.
You bet. Well, it's a good thing, Tony. We appreciate y'all putting it on. As you well know, our country is in deep despair, and we've got to get back to biblical values. That's just all there is to it, and I so appreciate you taking the lead on this.
So, Congressman, give me your reaction to the meeting between the Speaker and the President, and what's going to have to happen for the Republicans to come together in an agreement with the President?
Well, I think the President's probably the deciding factor there. We know that we want to cut spending, and you already pointed out it's not about cutting Medicare or Social Security. That's not it. I know the Democrats would like to hang that around our necks. That's just not true. The president's going to have to come to the table. I think the Speaker said they've got common ground. They had some common discussion. I'm not unaware, Tony, that the president's going to want to delay this as long as he can to get closer and closer to kind of a calamity, if you will. But the Republicans we've said the whole time, that Kevin was running for Speaker, Commitment to America, that we would get spending bills out quicker so that the Senate couldn't jam us. So we're intent on, and you probably know this, 8 times since 1985, spending cuts have been attached to the debt ceiling discussion bill. So we're working on this. The president's going to have to come around to that. We're working hard to make sure that we can do that for the American people.
And the Republicans have been very clear on this. They're not for any default. They just want responsibility going forward. And I would think there has to be give and take. And so far, the president is saying he's not giving anything. He apparently wants Republicans to give up everything.
And that's exactly the case. And if you follow this, and I know you have been, the Democrats in 390-something days, literally, they passed the highest debt ceiling increase in history. And literally in 394 or 5 days, or whatever it was, they maxed out America's credit card again. That's what they want to do. That's their modus operandus. We're saying, look, it's not sustainable. The Republicans ran on that. Our Commitment to America speaks to that. And we're going to have that discussion. We're going to have that on the floor of the House. We want the president to know that we're firm. There's got to be some give and take, because we can't keep spending the Americans' taxpayers' dollars like we've been doing.
Very quickly, Congressman, last question for you. We're almost up against the break, but this was an issue in the election for the Speaker. And so some conservatives have drawn some very bright lines when it comes to the fiscal responsibility. Can the Republicans agree that if we get some reasonable spending cuts, that we can move forward?
Yes, I think we can, Tony. As you know, when I was in the Texas House, I had the #1 conservative voting record. I call myself a Christian, conservative, Republican, and in that order. And so I think what I'm watching here and seeing here, I've been here, this is my 11th year, 6th term, and I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing. I think we're going to pull this off.
Yeah, I'm encouraged as well, and I appreciate you being there with us early this morning, and so many of your colleagues. That was, I have to believe that's encouraging to folks all across America. See Congress praying for this country.